For over 60 years, XY Company has been providing superior line and well-being services. The small laundry operation from 1969 has blossomed into an international multi-service provider operating in over 28 countries and offering textile hygiene and facility service solutions. We at Lean Six Sigma Consultants are thrilled to launch our first project with Lean Six Sigma around your clothing line in your headquarter production plant. One of our main goals with our proposed Lean Six Sigma project is to reduce the overall processes time 10% in 3 months. The second goal is to identify other areas of waste in the clothing process and suggest methods and tools to create long-term solutions in the laundry plant. The final goal is to implement Lean Six Sigma training and accountability across the headquarter plant at the senior management level for the business process improvement and culture transformation. We would like to take this time to walk you through the DMAIC methodology and reveal your findings.
First, we begin by understanding the inputs and outputs of your clothing line by constructing a SIPOC diagram to understand the high-level process. As we spoke with a production manager and began to map out the process for the clothing line, many issues began to surface between the drying tunnel technical issues, quality issues missed in the sorting process, and issues around the folding machine. By unpacking these issues further and understanding their implications on the project, it was clear the folding machine has created a bottleneck and must be addressed first. With a large demand for folded clothes, there's a significant problem in clothing leaving the factory on time. The machine itself lacks capacity to handle the orders coming in to start, and it is highly sensitive. If a worker does not have the right rhythm and it goes too fast for the machine, it will stall, but if they go too slow, they are not processing clothes at the optimum speed. As the production manager stated, we always need more time to fold clothes even if everything is running smoothly and workers have the perfect rhythm. Between the sensitivity of the machine, movement of employees, and lack of standardization, this was an easy place to start a Six Sigma project. After identifying our bottleneck problem, we need to develop plans to collect data and determine the baselines for the folding machines, as the process is only as strong as its weakest link. We created a process map to understand the flows and the relationships between the tasks. The folding process is towards the end of the production line and follows the automated customer sorting step. As the backlog in items to be folded occurs, workers are taken from other stations towards the beginning of the line, such as the first hanging station or the sorting station, to assist in the folding process. When additional workers come to assist in folding, they are tasked with folding manually, which requires separate hanging racks off the line and increases worker movement. The combination of manual and machine folding processes lacks standardization and leaves room for gaps in quality in addition to being inefficient. To best understand these issues, we need more data to prioritize these problems. Some of the data points we will collect include number of items produced per hour, process and lead time, and average amount of clothes per hour. Meeting with line workers will aid us in identifying further inconsistencies that could be addressed in the analyze phase.
Once we have confirmed our original data and assumptions about the folding process problem, we must ask why, until we go to the root cause of the issue. With many factors contributing to the inefficiency in the folding process, we must understand their significance and the risk created as a result. The environment, manpower, methods, and machine are all contributing to the pure performance, but the machine and methods appear to have the greatest impact on the productivity. The sensitivity of the machine and low capacity are the most significant risks to the folding process. So, how do we tackle this issue? That's when we look to incorporate case and methodology of small continuous improvements. Our goal is to form a solid foundation around continuous improvement within the company. We created 5 steps to introduce Kaizen in XY's clothing line. Review the process, ask how it can be improved, interview workers to obtain specific information, brainstorm about suggested solutions, organize a pilot project to test the improvement, and lastly, create a program from employees.
To ensure this is a successful and sustainable change, we will develop tools such as visualization boards to provide clear instructions on the folding process and worker flow between stations and SOP to create standards and best practices on how to conduct tasks. Our goal is to create enthusiasm and accountability down to the individual task level in a way that inspires excellence. We know there will be some challenges when implementing Lean Six Sigma. One of the greatest challenges can be people. A culture that is resistant to change can derail any improvement project. We plan to incorporate change management best practices to ensure a smooth process for XUI company. By involving workers in the change process, providing training on Lean Six Sigma to key employees in management to promote it top-down through the organization, and creating internal Lean Six Sigma certification programs. We will create the best plan for your culture to adapt and thrive with Lean Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma might require more investment that the customer may not be willing to pay for in the price of the product. Examples of these could be new tools or systems for measuring data or replacing existing equipment. In the long run, XOI will have a return on investment that will cover up for these costs, because incorporating Lean Six Sigma will eliminate waste, increasing company efficiency.
Implementing Lean Six Sigma and XY company's headquarter plant on their clothing line will enable proactive data-driven decisions that optimize cost and eliminate waste. With a structured method for collecting and measuring data, XY company will be able to improve the most pressing processes efficiently. Lean Six Sigma will also give XY company the opportunity to reduce operation costs and increase revenue on their clothing production line. By improving the process capacity, XY company could generate more revenue if clothes are processed more efficiently. Lastly, Lean Six Sigma will encourage cultural change and continued process improvement throughout the organization. So, where do we get started? We proposed a two-approach considering both the short and the long term. Our short-term recommendations start with the first one, to create a data collection plan to identify a baseline of data from the folding machine station and interview machine operators. Number two, analyze the data to confirm the initial assumptions about the problem. Number three, use the provided solutions and adjust them according to the found data. Number four, create a control process to sustain the improvements. And as a long-term recommendation, we recommend changing or upgrading the folding machine if it aligns with the data analysis. So now, let's take the next step on our Lean Six Sigma journey and commit to continuous improvement and never settling for the good enough. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.